on PlayStation, Wave91.7 FM, Port Harcourt City. My name again is Anthonia Assabill, and it's time for real conversation on Real Talk. But before we go into today's major conversation, main man, have you heard that the presidency have set up or ordered a 30-day probe into the fraudulent agency, the ICPC?
Before I heard, I expected a panel. I expected a 4-month. But then again, of course, yes, I heard that this morning. And what else is the presidency going to do? But my problem has always been it's not about setting up this whole thing. It's not about calling on the ICPC, the EFCC, or what have you. What happens at the end of the day? Who goes to jail? Who suffers for this embarrassment? That's the big problem, because this is a big dent on the federation, the big dent on Nigeria. We don't want to see this whole thing swept under the carpet at the end of the day. I hope it doesn't, because past records, antecedents has not proven that Nigeria has dealt properly actually, with situations like this. And I just hope they don't disappoint us this time. Somebody has to be arrested, not just the president who's involved, but people who are connected, that are in government, because I wouldn't want to believe that he did this on his own. There might be some persons in the house, some persons within, that must have been giving out information that should be held accountable and should be brought to book.
Okay, Excel, what do you think? Do you think the setting up of the probe, the committee to look into the fraudulent ICPC, is actually a good call on behalf of...
It wasn't the ICPC that was fraudulent.
It was
a certain commission that's on presidential investment and or what, like you would say. The ICPC was invited to take a look at this.
Exactly.
And the ICPC has always existed, right? But the ICPC is not the only body currently looking at this. Femi Gbajabiamila petitioned the DSS.
Okay.
He got the EFCC involved. He also has taken the matter to court. The matter is in court.
Yeah, actually, for defamation.
Yeah. So defamation is even one that came in later yesterday, when the lawyer wrote a letter that serves as a pre-action notice. Okay. So that would only go to court for defamation if the prince, our prince, does not
your
do
prince,
the right thing. My prince, he's a Nigerian prince. If he doesn't do the right thing, But there's already a matter in court to substantiate or negate these allegations. Now, getting to pull the ICPC in is like adding more firewood to an already burning flame, right? Because there are already agencies of the government that are on this matter.
Yeah, but that shows how sincere or intentional the administration.
About what? Sincere about what?
No, that's your job.
That means you don't trust the EFCC. That means you don't trust the DSS, because these guys have already been petitioned. If you want to know the importance of a petition, listen to what the leader of the Senate said yesterday. He said, we have not received any petition to the Nigerian Senate on this matter, so we cannot act upon it. So that tells you how important it is. So one should have expected that having petitioned the EFCC or the DSS or the police, that should suffice. But the same presidency that told us that there were accounts held by this council with the CBN, the same president that could not get its record straight, right, is now the one saying they want to petition or get the ICPC involved. Hallelujah to them. Congratulations.
I mean, maybe they're trying to save face, because everybody's holding them accountable and asking them questions.
Save face.
Yes, save face. I mean, it's actually a big embarrassment for the administration. Not really the federation, though. I'll say this administration. Okay. So just to save their face, it's important that they reel in the ICPC.
When a story emerges like this, that somebody is taking advantage of this administration, you think the administration would not want to cover their face and try as much as they can to push it elsewhere. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, I'm hoping for the best. I hope this matter is not swept under the carpet, and then the guilty parties are arrested and then sent to the books. But for now, our major conversation this morning pertains to insecurity. Senate wants terrorist rehabilitation program stopped. Now the question is it time this ends? Actually, when I was reading on this story, I saw in the comment section somebody asking, is it that the National Assembly got some information that they are the next target to be attacked, hence the need for them to go.
Okay.
I mean, I love Nigerian sense of humor, no matter how dark it is. But someone was asking, wait, maybe they got some intelligence that they are the next, target.
Right.
So for that, just to save themselves, they want to scrap.
So you think that it's in stopping the process that you would stop whoever wants to be funny from
Well,
being funny?
they don't know who it is. So in fact, let's carry all of them
I think
and
that's
throw
safe.
them behind jail, for
Okay.
safety reasons, just to protect themselves.
Okay, so get them out of the society
Yes.
and save the society from the wahala they bring.
Exactly.
And that's a way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. There are many other ways to look at it, though.
Okay. All right, so the Nigerian Senate has called on the federal government to suspend the rehabilitation and reintegration program for former Boko Haram members. Lawmakers argued that terrorists should be arrested and prosecuted rather than rehabilitated and reintegrated into communities, especially as insecurity, kidnappings, and attacks continue across the country. The Senate also resolved to meet with President Tinubu over the worsening security situation and called for stronger oversight of security agencies. Main man, so the Senate with the Senate President want to meet with presidents and tell him, look, security situation in Nigeria is getting out of hand. It's about time we do something.
Okay. Oh wow.
So I think they are now realizing how dire the situation is.
So it has come to his notice now that
They need to go
that
meet with the president and talk to him about
what-
our current security situation.
what exactly? What's the major issue? Is it about the
First of all, we need to stop the reintegration and rehabilitation
Okay.
of the Boko Haram members. It's not helping.
First, the idea of reintegrating past terrorists into the system. I don't know who came up with that idea. It was it was one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. I must confess, because how would you?
Sorry,
one of the worst ideas I've ever heard.
into which system?
Into the Nigerian system, into the military system, into
No,
military
they're not
system.
being reintegrated into
Just
into the
society.
Into society.
Yes.
whatever it is, integrated into the
Good.
society.
But other countries have done it and it's been successful. So I would not say it's a terrible idea. We like to borrow
What's the
policies
process?
from other countries, so they think maybe, instead of we being, strong-handed with these people, why don't we use a softer approach? Maybe if we talk to them, give them therapy, and then reintegrate them back into society, giving them something to do, they will see how wrong their action is, and also it will send a soft message to their brothers
The
involved.
problem is the therapy. What's
Yeah.
the process like? How have they been properly?
The rehabilitation process.
Exactly, that's the major issue. What was the process like? Was it properly done? How long did it take? What was the outcome of? I mean, we have always faulted this process system, and if it is not good enough, we shouldn't work with it. And that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's more dangerous to actually reintegrate people like that. We've seen situations where these terrorists, when they get back to the society, they cause more harm to the society, and this is not something that we should work with.
Excel,
Yes.
what do you have to say concerning this? Do you think it's a right call, scrapping the rehabilitation and reintegration program?
Let's go back to history for a bit so that we can get to Dr. Guest 923. This issue of reintegrating and rehabilitating began sometime in 2015 when the government saw that the purely military approach wasn't yielding, the needed result, particularly to defeat the Boko Haram insurgency. And now it was formally operationalized in September 2016 under a military-led multi-agency initiative known as Operation Safe Corridor. And the idea was that the country could not shoot its way out of the crisis, and so there was a need to weaken the terror groups from the inside. There was need for a soft power mechanism, a safe exit pathway to encourage low-risk fighters. Look at this: low-risk fighters, conscripts, and forced laborers to voluntarily defect and surrender. Now, this might come in if you're looking at a more formalized structure where, this group, you're the low risk, you are the conscript. But Boko Haram that we know today, every single individual, also looking at it from the perspective of the law, these persons, once you aid and abet a crime, you as well as guilty of that crime. So if you move bullets and you're said to just be a conscript, you are part of Boko Haram and should be treated as one, particularly under the Terrorism Prevention Act of Nigeria, which prescribes the offense and then the punishment likewise. So this whole setup first might have been with good intentions, but subsequently, with what we see today, I don't think anybody could or should be found sitting on the fence. If you're a terrorist and you should be taken out. If you're not, ask yourself, how well has it fared? Saudi Arabia was one of the countries that came up with this whole plan.
Exactly.
They've done quite well with it. But look at the Nigerian story. Even some undercover reports by journalists have shown that we're not just getting it right. So that leaves a whole lot, to be demanded from the government.
Okay, that leaves a whole lot to be demanded and desired from the government. But before we continue with this conversation, let's go pay some bills. When we return, we also have our resource person on standby to shed more light on this conversation. Don't forget, it's Real Talk here on Wave 91.7 FM, Port Harcourt City.